depth of the tank is the first thing you need. Mine's 12 inches. And then you're going to mount the fuel pump on the supply. This is the supply. I'm not taking the filter out because I don't want to get it dirty right now, but it looks like about 4.5 inches to the top of the fuel pump with an S. You see that? S is for supply, R is for return. So you're going to cut this guy to the total depth down to the bottom of the tank. It includes the pump, the sock, and the supply line. So now I'm setting the float valve, or the float sending unit. This is called a sensor. This drops into the tank. You can adjust the height of this thing, the pivot. So that's what this table was. I was just showing you. You gotta set the depth appropriately for this, and then this sits here. And as the, if your fuel is full, this thing is floating at the top of the fuel, and then as you drive and you drain the tank, it moves down. And as you're doing that, you're pivoting this little sensor. So when it's full, probably what's in here is we're twisting like maybe a coil or a variable thickness like piece of metal or something, and the resistance is calibrated to give you a signal. So full, empty, and everything in between. So when you've got a tank like mine, I think they said for tank depths 6 to 15.5 inches, you actually have to do some modification to this thing and take it apart. So this is meant to be a slider bar. See how it's slotted here? So you can set the depth, right? But I have to take the whole thing apart because I need it to get really short. So like this bracket here, you just get rid of. And then looks like you just go back in here, and then now you can start setting depths at like 6 inches. So we'll keep working on that. Yeah, so now these screws that were in the housing of the sensor, which is plastic, they're self-tapping screws. So I'm just going to do them loose right now. And yeah, so now I determine my depth. So I measure from the bottom of the flange to this swing arm. And I need 6 inches. There she goes. We got her. Shazam! 6 inches. So now I rewrap this guy right here. Now you got to set the length on this guy. The geometry of this dimension, and how far down it goes, because that's going to determine how much this pivots. So there's a lot of trig here, right? Triangles and such. The dimension C from here to the float needs to be 7.8 inches, which is... Beep, beep.